Well, hello everybody. Hope you're well and can both hear and see me. And I have unmuted, so that's a good start as any. It's Friday night. It's beer o'clock. I wonder how there'll be some people here because the Americans are all on a different time zone and stuff. It's Friday the 13th yet again. I feel like it was Friday the 13th quite recently. It's Friday the 13th again. AV good, thank you very much, Mandy. And an American is in the house, so at least one of them's got their act together. What have we got for you tonight? The same old, I'm afraid. Or you're luckily got the same old. We have at least one new aquarium confession. We have an answer smash. We have a main quiz. We have some general chit-chat about all manner of things, and we have a badly poured beer. Cheers, everyone. Wasn't it 28 days ago? What, the Friday the 13th? Yeah, I think it was fairly recently. I realised that as I started putting in Friday the 13th themed questions into the quiz, going, I'm sure I've asked this recently. They were in at 8 p.m. I could see the chat. Sorry, everyone. Hope they've come back. Let's put it that way. So who have we got tonight? From when I switched the chat on, we have Just Average Dan. Good evening. I saw Just Average Dan earlier on today. He was visiting the old fish garage to pick up some fish. Unless you're a council inspector, and under no circumstances was he here picking up some fish. Bandit Aquatics, hello all. For once I was early. Mona Lee's in. Thank you for telling people to hit that like. That's what we want. We've got Teresa's in. I hit the like button an hour ago when I thought I was on time. Stevie P's in. So does that mean all the Americans have finished work now? What time is it in America? Is it like 5 o'clock now? Something like that? I guess it depends where you are. That's a silly question. Moving swiftly on. Flatbed Aquatics. How we doing? He came back, or she came back, after the £5,000 point dock last week. Darijan Dijan, welcome back. Nice to see you. I hope you clearly haven't taken it personally. So I hope you're looking forward to some more answer smashing tonight. We just threw in a little bit of punitive point scoring into answer smash last week and docked people points for ridiculous answers. So there was 5 points here, there was 10 points there, and then 5,000 points at one point. But, you know. Did he just call me old? Did I? Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. You need to hire someone to pour a better beer. I know. It's not one of my most prized skills, but, you know, I'll take it. It'll settle down eventually. It's all going in the same place. There's also one in February, and it's not a leap year. It's also in March, because exactly 4 weeks. Yeah, that'll be why. Yes, lots of duckweed. Yes, I sold Dan some duckweed, not some fish, not at all. I also had today a visit from my Dutch supplier, who was on holiday in the UK and just came to say hello. So that was nice. And we had a bit of a chat about my plans to expand the fish room and start selling things more and more, which was really nice. It was nice to get to see him. I'd actually cancelled it because I was so busy today. I just didn't think I was going to get a chance, but he just turned up on the off chance that I might be available. He turned up 30 seconds before I was due to start a meeting.
Oh, my balls.
Oh, my balls. Thank you. So I was about to present to a load of clients, and I had to quickly say, "Oh, I've stubbed my toe. I'll be about 10 minutes." So, but I had a nice chat with him, and yeah, it was good because he's one of the suppliers that was willing to supply me while I wasn't a shop. So just for YouTubes and stuff. So it was nice to put a name to a face to a name. And he said the same thing as me. I talked to him about some of my plans and why I thought it would work and what wouldn't work, and yeah, it was good. So that was nice. Had a little bit of a chat about potentially expanding into some different areas and getting some new fish in and things like that. But he's talking me through the process of how the fish get here. Yeah, it was really cool. So we've had that today. I've had just average Dan and Mrs. Dan were visiting to have a look at some of the fishies. I have submitted the application to the council, so it's now in their hands. It could be 3 weeks, it could be 3 months. I don't know how long it'll take before we get around to coming and doing the assessment, but I'm kind of ready to go now. I've been working on the website. Let me see if this will work. There you go. I've been doing some vibe coding today on ChatGPT. That's my new shop section, which will be coming up soon. For those of you who don't care. Yeah, so that'll be good. Yeah. Did I hear a bring thing earlier? I did hear. Where is it? I can't see it though. What the hell? I don't know how to mod. Well, you consistently show up, Lee, so I thought it's about time. And you ask people to like and subscribe. That's kind of all the mod duties that you need to know. So you're already doing it. You just get a spanner next, or a blue badge now, I think. So it's a blue badge instead of a spanner. So like, you're all disabled now. That's nice. Who's this? Christopher Ellison says, "Hi Graham, first time here after watching 5,000 of your videos. Thank you very much. It's always nice to see new people." So, if you are new, what we tend to do here is a bit of a chit chat. We've got some quizzes and some games and some regular-ish features. It's very close to bringing back Dickhead Comment of the Week this week, but we might not, and we'll move on. What fish, says Lord? No fish. There was no fish bought here. I don't know what you're on about. Teresa has given me a £4 super chat. Well done. Love these lives. Thank you very much, Teresa. I can't see it in my chat. I can see it in the other chat, so I don't know what's going on. There it is. Thank you very much. 3 years of membership for Zenny. Wow. Thank you very much. You don't have to give super chats, but it's always appreciated. Flatbed Aquatic says, "I'm planning a trip over your way." My way or someone else that you're talking to? Oh. My name for you is easier to pronounce as Darian Dian. Dian? Dian. Dian. I'm going with Dian. Darian Dian. Darian Dian. I'll try and remember that. I'm not very good with names. The Dutchman who came earlier today I was saying, "Oh yeah, so these fish that come from Runemans," and he was like, "That's not how you say Runemans. You English. Always with the rubbish pronunciations." I was a bit like, Scottish actually, but oh well, fair enough. David Gibb. Hello David, how are we doing? Roger says, "Are your fish for sale yet?" No, but I'll happily sell you some duckweed until they're officially for sale. I want 10 super red angels. Well, I've only got Manakapuru angels, which are technically, some people call them super reds, but I think that's a different variant. So mine are, I mean, I've got the adult versions. They'll have a red top rather than be full super red, which I think is what most people classify as super reds are. But yes, the I'm going to have to practice saying that. The angels are technically ready. I mean, I think there's some kind of workaround where I can loan you some fish and you can lend me some money, and then after a period of time we can just call it quits and write off each other's debts until I can officially sell you fish with my council provided application. Or you could come to the Sheaf Valley Aquarist Society next Sunday, the 22nd, I think it is, where I will both be selling some fish completely legally, and I've also booked myself a trade table, so I'm going to take some I'm going to take some good quality, high quality items and try and sell them off as well. Brisu, what's that say? Brisu Guppy. Oh, it's Brian. Brisu Guppies. Fair enough. We've got a new name. The scanny thing's ready for Lisa. It is indeed. I've written my quizzes. We're good to go for the quizzes. Mickey, a member for 65 months. Bloody hell. He's an old one. Your way, Graham. Well, fine. You're welcome to book by appointment. There will be an appointment. There won't be an appointment system. I've been wrestling with an appointment system today, and I've... Sorry. Shall I show you around the new website that kind of almost works? I've got this up as a test phase at the moment. It's very slow because it's running on the test side. Let's have a look. So that's going to be the new Aquarium Adventures website, where you can have specialist. This guy, specialist fish and aquarium supplies, premium tropical fish with specialism in discus and compatible species. So you can have a look at some of the fish. I've just got some really crappy pictures up for now. View the stock list, arrange an appointment. So this is the bit where I'd talked about arranging a visit, like a calendar system, and it was just like so much harder. So I've relented and just gone with opening WhatsApp. So you can send me a message on WhatsApp to say, hey, can I come and see some of your stuff? So I'm not putting the website live until I can officially sell fish, or I might put it live but just not put the fish up for sale yet, or I might put it live and just say, sorry, I can't sell you fish yet until I get my license, or whatever it is that I decide to say. But yeah, that's kind of where we're going with that one. And I'm trying to, I mean, these are all just kind of placeholders for now, some of the fish that we've got in and what we'll be going for. But we'll have the fish list, the shops bit, and the book a visit. That's your three main sections, whereas before it was just dead busy. There was like Aquarium Adventures. I'll try to sell you my book immediately, and then I tried to tell you about the last 10 videos I'd watched, and then said, oh, you can also buy stuff. So I've tried to kind of repoint everything to be pointing straight at the meat and the bones of the, I'm selling fish now, and I do all this other stuff. So they've still got all the shop, the fish for sale, the visits, appointments, the tools that we had, and all that good stuff. I'm just leaving YouTube to YouTube and website to business. That's kind of how we're doing that. Hopefully that makes sense. Lily's late from a cold and windy Bolton. It's been mental over here the last couple of days. I've been finding things in my garden 3 or 4 gardens away the last couple of days. Manicure poo-poo. Manicure poo-poo. Je ne pas comprends en français. No, me neither. Manakapuru is just a place where they are sent to export from. Well, there's a lot of that goes around, yes. Bringing some incredible crap to sell. Yes, I am bringing some incredible crap. No, I'm going to bring some good stuff. So if anybody is in the area in Sheffield, a week on Sunday, the 22nd, it's a really good auction. I think it's one of the better, as much as I moan about it all the time, it's one of the better organised auctions in that everyone gets a fair chance usually. There's the odd mistake gets made, but that's just a thing. And I've booked a trade table so I can hawk my book there. You can buy signed copies in person. I'm a bit apprehensive about that, whether I should do that or not, but we'll see. I've got a load of 3D printed stuff that I'm going to be taking. I wanted to take a load of my foods and a lot of the hardscapes. I don't know about the hardscapes. Well, I'm still deciding what it is I'm going to take. But take some stuff as well and see how we do. The same name of the river they were found the first time, but they were found in a few more places. Ah, right, okay, yes. It won't be for about a year, but I'm working. How far away do you live? Are you walking? Graham, you really should make 4, 5, and 6 year badges so Mickey doesn't get confused for one of us commoners. I mean, there should be lots more. Let's see. Can I do this while we're live? I don't know. So that'll be in the community section. No, it won't. It'll be in the earn section for some reason. Memberships. Oh yeah, I'm only up to 3 years. So I can go all the way up to 10 years. I need to upload new pictures. Okay, I don't have any more pictures to upload, but I will do that. Use YouTube badges? No, I want to upload my own. We'll say that. So I need to come up with some 32 by 32 pixel images that are less than a megabyte with an aspect ratio of 1:1, and then I can upload them for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 years. Thank you very much, all you people who have done all this for a while. There are a lot of compatible species. Yeah, but I'm limiting it to compatible species I carry. So these are, as much as I will probably expand this into like a load of discus care guides and how-tos and all that, and maybe link in my how to keep discus videos. I kind of want to keep it to be shop focused, and so the whole USP here is I'm selling discus and discus related stuff, fish and equipment and all that kind of stuff. So there's plenty of scope of things that will happily live with discus. But as you could have seen, or you might have seen, I've listed tiger barbs, which are not compatible with discus. So I've got some categories. I've got discus compatible fish, discus that while cool are not cool living with discus, and other stuff, because I quite like shrimp and I'm missing keeping shrimp for a while, so I might get back into shrimp a little bit as well. And they're a little bit what's the word? Not space reliant. The opposite of space hungry. Space full. No, I don't know. You don't need so many big tanks, basically. When the time comes, would we message you through the website about special order ins? Definitely. Yep. How long does the auction go on for? Bloody hours. So it officially opens, or it officially starts at 12. I think it opens at 11 and officially starts at 12, but it goes on to 4, 5 o'clock, easy. But it gets busy at space efficient. That's what I was going for. It gets busy like kind of 1 to 3 is the kind of main bit, and then it starts to drop off. So if you really want some bargains, turn up at like 3 o'clock. Because that's when everyone else is gone and there's just nobody to bid against it. It's just all the other dealers trying to buy things cheap. Your book next to 50 Great Shades of Grey. Graham's table would be the Temu Rejects table. Not at all. Take your books. I'm going to try. Well, that's not going to be hard. I'm not that heavy. I will do that. I will take my books. I'd love to fangirl. I'd love a fangirl to turn up and ask Graham to sign the tatas, just to see how red he goes. I don't know that I would love that. Manakapuru is a river system, also a river system where the red-black angels come from. Space Efficient, that's the one. I will call over to visit Aquarium Adventures HQ next time I'm in Liverpool for a football game. Yeah, definitely. Although I'm not, Sheffield is not near Liverpool, so it would be a bit of a trek, but you're more than welcome. So, while I faff about talking about all that, that's my kind of next week. I am loving having all these fish in here, but at the moment they're just a big weight around my neck, so my plan is to try and grow on the discus a little bit, because I need to make this is a business, so I need to make a profit from this, and I can only really make a profit if I get them a little bit bigger, and I'm quite good at that, so I think I'll be okay there. And I'm power feeding them. I've got them in hot water. I've got them in multiple water changes, so we're going to get these guys big and beautiful and ready to sell, and everything will be wonderful. I've had some talks with a couple of people actually who are not local but local-ish hobby breeders, who have already reached out to say, oh, if I was to breed a whole bunch of fish, would you be able to take them? Because that's something that's kind of problematic for some breeders, is they just don't have that avenue to get rid of fish. Because one of the things, anyone who's bred fish will know that when you accidentally breed 100 fish and don't have space to keep them, it's taking them to a store for store credit, it's selling them on Facebook Marketplace as it was, or Band, or any of these other apps. It can be problematic if you don't have a reliable source to get them out. So I'd happily be that reliable source. So that's, I think, a good way to expand this and move it on from just importing stuff, but importing and taking some breeding projects. I also want to breed my own. So I've got the wilds in here, 6 of them, very much in breeding size and breeding condition. So I'm hoping that'll kick off soon. I can identify a pair, get them into a breeding tank, and see if we can get that started as well. So that was good. Despite Dan saying he wasn't going to the auction earlier, I've relented and said I'll take him his poor bank account. What a pair, what a pair. Hi from Sweden. Hello. How are we doing? Nice to see you, Gas Mask. Last time we all went to visit Graham at the auction, we left at like 6 AM and couldn't get near him. But had fun sitting with Andrew. You could get near me. You were right next to me. You were about three chairs down, I think. So will your next book be a discus keeping book? I think, well, I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be covering the transition from hobbyist to getting out of a soul-destroying job. But I'm a few years away from that happening, and it may never happen, so we'll never know. Right, I was going to share something, wasn't I? What was I going to share? I was going to share... That's Answer Smash. We don't want Answer Smash. We want the regular quiz. Or do we want to have a fishkeeping confession first? I think we've got 2. Let me just see. Present. There we go. So for those of you that like to scan the scanny thing, there is the scanny thing. We'll do the quiz fairly soon. When my geo's bred, I put the fry in a very quickly set up 12-litre tank. Most lived. Then I ended up with my betta and a 57-litre flex before moving to 110 litres. They ended up at Wharf. So if you've recently bought any Geophagus brasiliensis from Wharf, they're mine. They're ones I bred. Excellent. I won't be bringing any accidentally bred Danios as they've been moved on to my friend with a spare tank. Ah, well. Why not do a fishkeeping confession now and one between the quizzes? Right, okay, well, we'll have one quick one. And then I want to see ideas of what teams to use for tonight as well. Because I think... it was ladies and gents. Yeah, well, too late. It's ladies and gents still. Let me just put in the clicky link for the ones that don't want to scan the link.
What do points make?
Prizes!
Prizes!
Teresa and Mandy want their points. Fair enough. We'll get that sorted out.
Prizes!
Let me just...
What do points make? Prizes!
Right, remember you have to be a member to get the member points.
Prizes!
Some of you aren't even in, and you're asking for your points yet.
What the points make?
This is confusing.
Prizes. What the points make?
I need to
Prizes.
come up with a better system. Right, who do we got? Zenny.
What the points make? Prizes.
Teresa. Zenny's not even in. Stevie P, he's in. That kids. Teresa, Zenny, Lee. That was the Archer student sang to Lee. Lauren. Adam. Right, fish keeping confession time. Right, I have read these ones already, so I do know what's coming. But one of them is serious. One of them's a bit like, ooh. Let's see if I can find it. Just have to click all the way to the end. Right, this is your first fish keeping confession. Fish keeping confessions are a chance for anyone to absolve themselves, hopefully, of any fish keeping sins. The goal isn't to shame anyone, it's to learn, laugh, and remind yourselves that everyone gets things wrong sometimes. It's not a big deal. You can submit through a link that you'll find in the description if you have any confessions that you want to share and you want to hear and be absolved by the community. So I will run a quick poll. Do we absolve? Yes or no? While I read you our confession this week, where it is from Anonymous. Anonymous says, to the answer to the question, what is your fish keeping confession? Fish in cycling with bottled bacteria liquid isn't as easy as the bottle states. I spent days testing and doing large water testing in order to keep the fish alive, even after following the simple directions on the bottled bacteria label. Since actually cycling a tank, nothing beats a dirty sponge when compared to a bottle of bacteria. I feel bad that I stressed out my fish because I believed a bottled landlord? Label, I think that's meant to be. A bottled label. Looking back to what did you learn? What was the lesson? Cycling an aquarium takes longer than a few days. Rushing things isn't easy. Do you seek absolution for your fish keeping sins? I deserve judgment, but will accept forgiveness. Now, here's my thoughts. I'll give you my thoughts on this one before you can all jump in with your own. Bottled bacteria products. I want to be on the fence with this one because I don't know. I have done it. It's got to be 10 years since I've used any of these products. And I have done it with Seachem Stability. I've done it with API's one, whichever that was called. I did it with the ATM Colony one. I've tried it with, I've even had a bottle of the Fritz one. I remember we got that a few years ago. And I tried them all, and they all worked to a degree. Now, I didn't take the most scientific approach to any of them because I used them as aids rather than as the only thing to try and cycle a tank. For the last God knows how long, I've not had to cycle a tank. I've always had spare filters, so I have various sumps running in various tanks, and I just keep sponge filters in there. So whenever I want to start a tank, I can just take a sponge filter out, which will be pre-seeded, and go. So all the tanks that I've got up with the discus in them, they were pre-seeded sponges. Could immediately chuck in loads of fish, and it was fine. It did take a little bit of a hit, and it did take some management, because I was throwing a lot of bioloads at a filter that wasn't doing much beforehand, but it very quickly caught up. I would be fairly confident that using some of these products in that scenario would aid things going well. I wouldn't be fairly confident that if that was if I was doing a brand new sponge filter that had never been used and chucked in some insert bottle bacteria claim number 1, I'm not so sure that would work. But I've never done it properly, and that's why I've always been kind of not wary of them, but I've just been suspicious that they make some claims on the bottle that I don't really get how they can do it. But I know some people have had success with them. I just worry for people who are new to the hobby that buy a bottle of something that says you can do this and it's fine. I don't want to demonize them, because at the same time, the old ways of doing things, of fish in cycling and just, well, only a few of them will die, that's not much better either. And who wants to wait for 8 weeks for a tank to cycle naturally? I see someone mentioned Nitrico Goop. That was the latest one where they were trying to get everyone to try that one. And again, I can see it working, but I just don't know how it would have a shelf life. And that's the bit that I don't understand. And it's the I don't understand part of it that makes me reticent to talk about it, because I don't really fully understand the science. I don't know all the factors that go into keeping bacteria alive, and it's a little bit above my pay grade and a little bit above my knowledge level, but I have seen results. So the other side of that coin is not quite bacteria in a bottle, but detoxifying bottles. So things like Seachem Prime, things like I bought one recently to test the NT Labs one, O or S or whatever it is, where they bind together the harmful things like ammonia or whatever it might be to make it easier for your filter to process and take out and just not harm the fish, basically. They're great. With another caveat, they're great, but they also stop your filter cycling as easily, because they're binding these things and they can sometimes make it take longer to cycle an aquarium. So there's all those kind of things going on. I realise I'm in a very privileged position in that I've got lots of tanks and lots of space to keep lots of filters running at all times. I've got 4 or 5 of these big tower filters with bags and bags and bags of media. I can grab from one, take it to another, and just instant cycle. So I've kind of got the best of both worlds. So I wouldn't want to demonise Anonymous for trusting a label on a bottled bacteria, because that's what they do. So I wouldn't vote. I would vote to absolve you, because everyone falls for marketing every now and again, and I'm not sure it is just the marketing. There's got to be something in that, because so many people have seen results. I just don't think the results are as good as the marketing claims, and that's all I'll say about it. So I'll have a look and see what some of you people have said. Fritz, yeah, I've tried Fritz, and again, it was fine. It was all right. Used the flue valve one a couple of times when I was starting out. It's not bad nowadays. If I need to cycle a filter, I hook it up to an existing tank for a while. Exactly. I don't know how I voted. I keep seeing the Nitrico Goop popping up and seeing some people swear, but yeah, well, I've had people in the chat. Moderators, Scott Shadow, he swears by Nitrico Goop. There's whole Facebook groups set up for people to test it who have seemed to have done a fairly thorough job of testing it and say it's good, it works. So I know it can. Just add ammonium nitrate and wait. Yeah, I mean, if you could wait, that's the ultimate way to cycle a tank. I keep a bucket of Finding Nemo decorations in an old plastic plants and throw them in a new tank to cycle it instead of using dirty filter, mainly because I quit using filters. Yeah. Because a lot of, what's I trying to say? Substrates, things like that. If you can reuse old substrates, or put some substrate from one tank into another tank, lots of bacteria is held in substrate. So that's a really good way to do it too. Only ever used filter media now. Yeah, it's a good way to go. I'm going to try the Nitrico Goop when I eventually get my 8-footer, as it'll have to be cycled on its own. Plot twist, Anonymous is just Graham making up stories so he can rant about stuff he thinks is stupid. Well, no, when I read this one earlier, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this one, because that's what I mean. I'm kind of on the fence. I think it does do things and can be useful. I just hate the way it's marketed. Like, you don't need to worry about anything. Chuck in all the fish and chuck this stuff in and you'll be fine. I don't think that's true, but I think it can help, if that makes any sense. Philip, how you doing? Nice to see you. But no, that was not me. That one, we could have done that one last week. Someone did this when we were on stream last week, I think. Any bacteria needs a food source to stay alive, or you're going to end up doing a fishing cycle. Yeah, there is that, but there are explanations for how those things are doing, that they're effectively dormant while they're in a sealed bottle. The nitrical goop one is a bit different to what most of the other ones claim, that they're sealed in a dark container, so no oxygen, no light, and it's as soon as you get oxygen and light that kind of reactivates the bacteria, which there is some science behind that kind of makes it make sense. But the goop, everything I've read, the goop is just mulm that they pick up and stick in a pouch and send out. And it's got a very short shelf life, which kind of makes it more believable in my book. Yeah, I've used API and Tetra bottles of stuff and used both now when breaking down my little tanks. Yeah. Technically, I think throwing a dead shrimp in still technically helps. It does. You're right, depending on your reference to the word help. Yeah. Okay, but my frame of reference for that is helps more than just the traditional ways of cycling tanks of throwing in ammonia, throwing in fish food, throwing in a dead shrimp, and letting nature take its course. These help speed that process up. Surprised stores don't sell more bags of used... I know, yeah. I used to... What's his name? Michael's Fish Room. He used to sell cycled sponge filters, and I always thought, I'm surprised there's not more of a market for that. But it's also, I guess, a good way to spread problems as well. So, swings and roundabouts. My shrimp don't die. What, even the ones you buy from Morrison's? I saw Aquarium Co-op have started in their USA. Started what? Oh, selling bags of used media. All right, yeah. Kind of makes sense. So, anyway, how are we feeling, people? Are we absolving or are we not? We are absolving. 88% of people have gone with yes. So, I think we can say, well done, everyone. Confession heard. And with that, we'll jump into quiz. For those of you who are just joining us, I will put the link in again for the quiz. Will I? I will. And little face for those of you who like to scan. We have only 16 players this week, 17 players this week. Have I got everybody? So I've given Just Average Dan, Lauren, the Discus Garage, Teresa, Stevie P, Fat Kids Win at Seesaw, and Mona Lee all have their member points. And Zenny, who has joined now, has her member points. I think that's everyone. If anybody else wants member points, just ask for them. Right, well, we're a wee bit late, so we will kick off. You can join halfway through. Anybody? Good luck, everybody. Wait, you're saying don't pee in a 40-gallon tank over 3 days? No, that's definitely not the way to do it. Question one. Oh, no. Oh, yes, I thought this was last week's quiz. Nope, we're all right. Question number one. How many Earth days does it take the planet Mercury to orbit the Sun? Is it 88, 128, 18, or 48? Us Americans have to get up early and do some farming or something. When do you guys change? I think we're still a couple of weeks away, I'm sure. I'm not entirely sure. The answer, according to chat, is 128 days. It's 88 days. The 29th will be changed. Okay, I'll try and remember that. So another couple of weeks. Zinny McGinger, Lauren, and the Discus Garage make up the top 3. I quite like saying garage. I'm very much a garage man, but every now and again I don't mind saying garage. Question number 2. What country is home to the city of Timbuktu? Is it Mauritania, Mozambique, Mali, or Malawi? What country is home to the city of Timbuktu? Sorry, geography one early out the gate. Zenny will not be happy. Mozambique getting all the numbers when it's clearly Mali. Timbuktu is an ancient city in Mali known for its historical importance as a centre of trade and Islamic scholarship in the medieval era. It's also famous for being very far away. A long way to Timbuktu. Only 3 people got that one. Adam, Stevie P, and Mr. Burns. Well done. At least I was in the majority. Quite good way to take the positive from it, Mandy. I like it. Question number 3. Who was the Roman god of the underworld? Neptune, Pluto, Saturn, or Jupiter? It's Hades in the Greek mythology, but who is it in the Roman one? Next week I have to go and see a performance of Hades Town with my daughter. No, not going with my daughter. She's going to be in it, and I have to go and watch it. I've been driving her to rehearsals for this play for the best part of a year. And it sounds god-awful, I have to say. Every song I've heard them rehearse, I've been like, oh, I'm not going to enjoy this. Who was the Roman god of the underworld? You think Neptune? Pluto. Pluto was the Roman god of the underworld. While his domains may seem morbid, Pluto was also seen as god of wealth because of the riches of the earth, such as minerals and precious gems. It was Pluto. Top 3 getting that one right. Well done, guys. Just on the team setting, we've got ladies versus gentlemen. The ladies are winning with an average point of 81 points to the gents' 79 average points. But there are 13 gents versus 7 ladies, so we're beating them on total points. Well done. Question number 4. What reptile supposedly cries tears that are disingenuous? Is it a crocodile, a snake, an alligator, or a turtle? What animal cries disingenuous tears? I'm not any better at planetary geography. What is up with all the astronomy? Well, so the Mercury question was because at the moment, that was meant to be a current affairs thing, because at the moment Mercury is in retrograde. So I had a question that was like, what does that mean? Mercury is in retrograde. But I tried to explain it, and it turns out I don't understand, so I gave up and went with a different Mercury question. Something to do with, it looks like it's going further away. but isn't. You all think it's crocodile tears. It is crocodile tears, as Jimmy Nail would say. It's a niche reference for y'all. Everyone getting that one though, so that was about who was fastest. Question 5. Well, I get a refreshment. What is the only triple landlocked US state? Indiana, Wyoming, South Dakota, or Nebraska? Another geography one, sorry. We're having Franny Caners tonight because they were selling them for £1 each at the company shop. Triple landlock means it has to go through another 3 states before it reaches the ocean, which is information that you might have needed before the time ran out. Nobody knows. There's an exciting new quiz game I've invented called Nobody Knows. Nobody knows. The answers are unknowable, subjective, or made up. The correct answer was Nebraska. A triple landlocked state is one that requires crossing at least 3 other states to reach the ocean. Nebraska holds the unique title of being the only US state that is triple landlocked. Indiana, South Dakota, Wyoming are all double landlocked. Now you know. I went with the most seemingly internal, and that worked. There you go. You got a geography one. Question 6. How many items are in a baker's dozen? 14, 12, 11, 13. Something seriously wrong with that loaf of bread. It looks knackered. Most people going with 13, which is the correct answer. It comes from the Middle Ages when laws existed to prevent bakers from selling underweight loaves. So as not to break the law, bakers would give a free extra piece of bread, numbering the loaf pieces to 13, giving you a baker's dozen. Lauren did not know that one. Sorry to call out everyone that got it wrong. Harry did not know that one. I've already forgot how to say Darijan, so I'm going with Darijan. Question number 7. Easy for me to say. What Midwestern US state was the settled... It's on the screen, just read it. What Midwestern US state was the setting for the iconic 1970s sitcom Happy Days? Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, Wisconsin. That's hard to say. Wisconsin? Wisconsin. Doesn't sound right. Where was Happy Days set? Monday, Tuesday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Was in Wisconsin with you. These days are oh. It was indeed Wisconsin. The beloved sitcom, which aired for 11 seasons from 1974 to 1984, captured... See, I always used to think that was from the 50s and 60s. Who knew? All these people knew. Discus Garage. Just Average Dan knew. Mona Lee knew. Lauren knew. Big Dazza did not know. Chris knew. Mysterious Error 404 did not know. Tell me how to get to Wisconsin. I'm imagining that is from the ocean only going through 2 states. Challenge accepted. I will move it on to the next question so you can be doing that while I'm looking it up. Which one of these countries does not feature its name on postage stamps? Well, maybe they're using the lakes as, because you only need to go through 1 or 2. I don't know. Good question. I think it must be to the edge of the country as well. No, it can't be, because Nebraska, you just have to go through South Dakota and North Dakota, and then you're in Canada. So it must be the lakes. I'm a confidently say it's the lakes. Like I said, the question sucked. Yeah, fair enough. Can you get from the lakes to the sea, I wonder? Let's just double check that. Yeah, technically. So that's that. Yep. I'm right. Which which of these countries does not feature its name on their stamp? You've gone with Grand Britannia. That is correct. All the others have their names on them. The St. Lawrence Seaway. Oh, right. Is that what that is? I'm going to assume that helps my cause. Question number 9. What sport do you score points by throwing stones closest to a target called the button? Is it kabaddi, hurling, shinty, or curling? Does anyone remember Trans World Sport? Used to be on like a Saturday or a Sunday morning. We used to be obsessed with kabaddi, which just seemed like the most mental sport I've ever seen. It just seemed to be get together with a group of people, group of men, all take their tops off, hold hands, try and play tag with each other while shouting kabaddi, kabaddi, kabaddi at each other. Don't know why that's a thing. You've all gone with curling. Of course it is. And it's Olympic fame. Curling is a unique sport with origins traced back to 16th century Scotland. Frozen ponds and lochs with flat stones from riverbeds. The large granite stones were thrown towards a target called the house, and the bullseye of the house is known as the button. Right. Next question is your gambling question. So you will be given a usually useless clue, and it's up to you to bet some, all, or none of your points to win some, all, or even more back. Here comes your useless clue. Question number 10. It's a Scottish tipple. A Scottish tipple. Pardon me. What classic cocktail is named after a Scottish folk hero? Is it a Rob Roy, a Tom Collins, a Harvey Wallbanger, or a Brandy Alexander? Said it before and I'll say it again. All in Vegas, baby. Woo! That's the kind of attitude we like. So the question is, how many of you heard of the famous Scotsman Harvey Wallbanger? Oh, 3 of you think it's Harvey Wallbanger. 1 of you thinks it's Brandy Alexander. 6, Tom Collins. But 10 of you are correct with Rob Roy. The Rob Roy cocktail, made primarily with whiskey, vermouth, and bitters, is named after the Scottish folk hero Rob Roy MacGregor. Known for his exploits in the early 18th century, Rob Roy was a Scottish outlaw and folk hero compared with Robin Hood. The drink was created in 1894 by a bartender at the Waldorf Astoria. There was a film and everything. As if that justifies it. You should have known that. There's a film. What's that done to the scores? Just Average Dan takes the lead, a commanding just over 200-point lead over Zenny McGinger and Mona Lee in third. And here's all the losers down at the... Oh, Discus Garage took a big hit. Stevie P took a big hit. Chris, Brian, all taking big hits. Brian. Scottish Brian. Brian from Scotland. Ouch. But you never know, you can get it back as we start the second half. Question 11. Which cartoon mouse has a feline rival named Sylvester? Is it Mickey, Jerry, Speedy Gonzales, or Mighty Mouse? I can't... 8 of you have gone Jerry. Sylvester and Jerry, that famous cartoon from all our childhoods. I used to love watching Sylvester and Jerry. Tom and Jerry. Yeah, divs. Correct answer was Speedy Gonzales. The fastest mouse in Mexico. Had a famous rivalry with Sylvester the cat. Dan and Zenny getting nout on that one. Mora Lee gets some points there. Fat Kids, Lauren getting some points. Sylvester was Tweety as well. Yes, but Tweety, you might have noticed, wasn't on the list there. and also not a mouse. Question number 12. What is the commonly known name for the phrase, whatever can go wrong will go wrong? Is it the Peter Principle, the Golden Rule, Murphy's Law, or Occam's Razor? Yeah, Tweety isn't a mouse. That's the other big giveaway as to why Tweety wasn't the answer. He wasn't an option and isn't a mouse. What is the common name for the phrase whatever can go wrong, won't go wrong, will go wrong? You think it's Murphy's Law. Of course it is. Named after an American aerospace engineer who came frustrated when a bunch of sensors were wired incorrectly, said of his assistant, if there's a way to do something that will end in disaster, he will do it that way. Well done, most people. Mysterious Error 4 is creeping into the top 10. Teresa and Harry down at the bottom. As we move on to question number 13. What animal is the subject of the idiom, a blank in the hand is worth 2 in the bush? A blank in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. What do we think? Arriba, arriba, andale, andale. AH Aquatics, nice to see you. How are we doing? I called my first house Murphy. My first house? You named your house? What does say house? I read that as I called my first mouse Murphy. Two of what is as good as one in the bush? No, the other way around. Two in the bush is as good as one what in the hand? Two people have heard the famous idiom, a rabbit in the hand is worth two in the bush. Birds in the hand. Bird. Meaning that it's better to hold on to something you have rather than risking it for the possibility of gaining something better you may never have. Now you know. Question number 14. What is the name of this colourful petite cousin of the dragonfly? Is that a damselfly, a princess fly, a pegasus fly, or a unicorn fly? I used to work with a guy that would wire everything wrong. We called him Smokin' Joe. Smoke would literally come from everybody he wired. Is this a damselfly, a princess fly, a pegasus fly, or a unicorn fly? You think it's either a princess fly or a damselfly. It is a damselfly. A very good sign of clean water, because that's where they like to hunt and lay their eggs, apparently. Now you know. Dan, 1 point short of 1500. Zenny, 1353. Lee, 1238. Question 15. Which film won Best Picture in 2024 after sparking a revival in moviegoing when it played alongside Barbie the prior summer? Was that Oppenheimer, The Holdovers, Poor Things, or Maestro? The Oscars this weekend, isn't it, I think? This counts as a current affairs question. Which film played alongside Barbie the previous summer and won Best Picture? Oh, a clean sweep for Oppenheimer. Of course it was. So this was all about who got it fastest. Pretty fast from Zenny and from someone else who I missed there. 69 points for Harry. Zenny and Lauren, the fastest ones there, I think. Question 16. What would a pogonologist study? What would a pogonologist study? Birds' nests, beards, mythical creatures, or kissing? Sorry. What would a pogonologist study? Birds' nests, beards, mythical creatures, or kissing? That is the graph of a chat that doesn't know. If only one more of you had gone from mythical creatures to kissing, we could have got exactly over. The correct answer is beards. Pogonology is the study of beards and facial hair. The term comes from the Greek word pogon, meaning beard. Throughout history, many notable figures such as Leonardo da Vinci, Abraham Lincoln, Grigory Rasputin have famously worn beards, each with a unique flair. Pog is a kiss in Irish. Yeah, in Gaelic it is as well. Pog mahon you halavastar means kiss my ass, you bastard, in Gaelic. Pog mahon you halavastar. It's the only thing I ever learned in Gaelic. Well done, Lauren, Big Bazza, Mickey, More Fish Than Sense. Getting that one correct. And Stephen P. Question 17. What sort of egg do people build by socking away money? Don't think that's meant to say socking away. Saving away? I don't know. Putting away? Socking away? That's not a thing. Do people build a hen egg, a nest egg, a golden egg, or a big egg? A big egg. They need to study your bird's nest. You can be a bit mean sometimes, Brian. That's not very nice. Nest egg, of course it is. Saving money and building a nest egg comes from the practice of farmers leaving one egg in a chicken's nest to make the hen comfortable enough to lay more eggs. Did not know that. Well done, most people. Oh, I was going to sneeze. It turned out to be a yawn. Sorry, everyone. Question 18. Which of these insects has ears on its knees that are nearly as sensitive as those of human beings? Hopefully you can see them a bit better this time. Which of these has ears on its knees nearly as sensitive as human ears? Dan, the chicken man, says, yep, we put flake plastic eggs in the nest boxes to encourage others to lay. I have no idea. Most of you going for the grasshopper. Ah, grasshopper. And you are correct. Grasshoppers, crickets, and locusts all have very tiny ears on their knees. The distance between their ears allows them to more accurately pinpoint sound. So there's kind of 100 points separating third to second and second to first. So it could come down to these last two questions. Here comes your penultimate question. Question 19. What are the 7 spinning wheels of energy believed to influence physical, mental, and spiritual health? Are they the 7 haikus, the 7 reikis, the 7 chakras, or the 7 enlightenments? What do we think? Well, we think it's either chakras or reikis. It is enlightened. No, chakras. It's chakras. There are 7 chakras from the soles of your feet to the top of your head. All responsible for different things, apparently. A haiku is a poem. Reiki is like weird massage, I guess. Zenny and Mona Lee are closing in on Just Average Dan. There's going to have to be some prominent all-inning if people want to make up some points here, I think. As we go to the final gambling question of the evening. Question number 20. Oscars trivia. Oscars trivia. What could that mean? Question 20. Which of these sequel films, along with 1974's The Godfather Part 2, are the only 2 sequels to have won Best Picture? Is it Mad Max Fury Road, Toy Story 3, Lord of the Rings Return of the King, or Avatar The Way of Water. Which of these is the only other film that's a sequel that has won Best Picture? Hmm. 13 of you have gone for Return of the King. The answer is Lord of the Rings Return of the King. So, what has that done to the final scores? In third place, Lauren with 2,110 points. In second place, Cinnamon Ginger with 3,207 points. And your winner tonight, Dan with 3330. Well done all. Right, I just need to do a little bit of admin before we do that though. The ladies won with an average points tally of 1,350 versus the gentlemen's 1,037. Not so good, guys, not so good. Player rankings. Do a bit of live spreadsheeting. Just bear with me, everyone. So that's the current standings from last week. I'll just delete that, copy that, minimize that, did that, that. And there we go. In first place, Zenny McGinger with 5,916 points. Stevie P in second with 4,326. Discus Garage 4082. Error 404 mysteriously in fourth place with 3830. Fat Kids with 3528. Dan into the top 10 with only 1 week's worth of scoring. 3330. Juggler, Lauren, Anna Banana, and Mickey and make up your top 10. I was 3 seconds away from guessing Toy Story. Hey, you did well. Mad Max Fury Road about got me, but it's not really a sequel. Well done, everybody. Well done. We did pretty well. So bask in your glory all. Right. So, with that said, I promised you one more confession before the evening was over. And you're going to get that confession shortly. Not quite now, because I have to do it. Find it first. So there we go. 2 weeks off helped me reset my brain. Nearly gave up after question 5, but I kept getting them all wrong. See? Never give up. You never know. We're back in the aquarium confession book though, so let me just ask a question of the chat, if I can find the page. And I can type it in the right box. Here we go. This is the Fishkeeping Confession, your aquarium confession booth, where you get to fess up to some minor mistakes or enormous gaffes you have made in the fishkeeping hobby to make us all feel better. The second of the confessions for this evening is another anonymous submission. So, in answer to the question, what is your fishkeeping confession? I got a job at a big box pet store helping out at weekends in the fish section mainly. We offered free water testing to customers where they would bring in a sample of their aquarium water and we would test all the usual parameters for them. Nobody told me this, so for about 3 months, when someone came in asking for their water to be tested, I handed them an API master test kit with a smile and sent them on their way. I must have handed out about 20 kits for free before someone cottoned on. Now, you think that's the confession? And when I read this, I was a bit like, oh yeah, slap on the wrist for that one, naughty. Someone else was caught on camera stealing some dog food and they assumed that she also took some test kits too, and I didn't say anything. I felt bad for a while, but she was a bitch, so I got over it. Oh, it's that last sentence. I love it. Looking back, what did you learn, if anything? Was there a lesson or was it just chaos? Anonymous has said, training is important. And do you seek absolution for your fishkeeping sins? They have said, I regret nothing. So, I like to try and give a little bit of a, how do I feel about this? What would I do in that situation? Oh, I don't know if there's anything I can say about this one. There's no lesson to learn here. I don't know. I remember once I had a job at a shop called Comet, which was like an electrical goods stores, like curries and things like that. And it was my Saturday job. And I got a job as the van boy because I've been this size since I was 12. So I'd be out delivering things, but every now and again I'd have to go and work in the shop, and they never really trained you or anything. And the first person that showed me how to put a sale through was one of the salesmen who was selling to a family member of his, so he gave his staff discount to his family member, like they're buying a video recorder or something. So, and he showed me how to put everything through the till. So every time I worked there for like 2 years, I put his staff discount through every customer because that's how they showed me to use the tills. So you open the till, you press in the code, and then you ring up the item. I didn't realise the code was his staff discount, so he was continually getting hounded by head office going, why are you giving away so many discounts? And it was me. So training is important, so I kind of get where they're coming from on that one. And if nobody told her not to hand out test kits, I mean, is there a greater good than handing out free test kits to the public? I think that's brilliant. So, it was the last bit that got me though. I felt bad for a while, but she was a bitch, so I got over it. I mean, the other person was stealing, so the other person did, what did they steal? Some dog food. They were stealing dog food. So they did deserve to get fired, I guess. Yeah, I would absolve. I don't think you should feel bad, because if no one told you not to give away free test kits, then who are we to say otherwise? Right, let's have a look on the stream. Oh, we're 100% not absolve. We are not absolving anyone here. That has surprised me. Oh well, the people have spoken. How many people say, oh no, it's just changed. It's 83% absolve, yes. Oh, hang on. $15 votes, 80% of you say yes to absolve. I'm calling it. Well, Anonymous, you're absolved. One of these days, one of you is going to pre-click absolve, and someone's going to say they killed all the fish for fun, and you're all going to feel bad. It's definitely Rebecca. Yeah, it could have been. She was here last week. I love Comet. It was a great story. I love Comet. That was my favourite. It took me a long time to earn more money from a full-time job than it did from my Saturday job at Comet. It was the biggest. I made so much money. Because I was the van boy. I was allowed to take the van home sometimes, so I could do like house removals and stuff on the side. I was every time we delivered a fridge freezer, a washing machine, a dishwasher, a tumble dryer, whatever it would be, we offered a service where we would take away the old one. And we were meant to take the old one away and take it to like a facility to be disposed of. But we had a network of like shops around Glasgow that sold second-hand goods, and we took all the stuff to them and so we deliver the new washing machine, take away the old washing machine, and then sell the old washing machine to one of the shops, and split it between me and the driver, or if I was the driver, me and the other van boy. I was raking it in. We're working 2 days a week. I remember my first full-time job, kind of the same job I'm doing now, but when I first started it, £7,200 a year. That was my annual salary. And I remember months in, I was making more money doing 2 days a week in Comet. Oh. So yeah, it was great fun there. It was dead easy too. Brian worked at Comet too. Well, there you go. Until someone comes back a year later looking for the new one and says, "But you were giving them out free last year." Plot twist. Yeah, the person that stole the dog food didn't have a dog. Maplin is greater than Comet. I have a few confessions about working there, especially when they were closing down. So I was talking to Dan earlier today. He used to work at Maplin's, which is another. It's not like Comet though. Maplin's is very different. But I used to love Maplin's. That was one of my favourite shops to just go in and wander about going, "Ooh, what's this do?" A reverse angle transponder uniform transducer. I definitely need one of them. Discus question from Gasmuth. Look at this. A bona fide discus question. How many days on average between egg layings if they eat the eggs? In my experience, so that's my caveat, irrelevant. So oh no, not irrelevant. So I've had some pairs of discus that will lay on a rota, and they'll start raising eggs, and then the female decides she's going to lay eggs again, and they'll eat all the other eggs so they can lay again. So in those situations, you have to separate them and try and artificially raise the eggs and stuff like that. That can be a right faff. So sometimes it's the fish wanting to lay more eggs that triggers them to eat the eggs. And I've not looked into it hugely, but apparently there are reasons, and you can condition them against that and train them out of it. So they're not laying quite so frequently. But if it tends to be the fish will have a cycle for how often it wants to lay eggs, and that can be quite different. It can be once a month, it can be once every 2 weeks, it can be once every 6 weeks. And I've not been able to find a way to figure out what they're doing. And the two ways it will work is that if that cycle's too short and they're still in the middle of raising other eggs, they'll eat those eggs so as they can then start the next batch, because that's just how they're wired, I guess. The key to it is, if they're doing that, you have to figure out whether they're eating their eggs so as they can lay another batch of eggs, or if they're just eating their eggs because they're an inexperienced pair, and then a few weeks later they will lay again. If that's the case, leave them to it. They'll figure it out. They'll get there eventually. If they are eating their eggs to lay another batch of eggs, you're probably going to have to break that pair and try to separate them, bring them back together, and let them start over again and see if we can sort it out, basically. But in terms of how many days between egg layings, if the eggs, it's different for each fish. The real question is, is it consistent? So are they eating eggs and laying eggs 2 or 3 days later? That means they're eating the eggs because they want to lay more eggs. Are they eating the eggs and then a week, 2 weeks later they're laying again? That's just an experience. And fine. So just leave them to it. Hopefully I can manage to keep my new job. I start on Monday. Well, all the best for you. Think of how much work it is to make that same annual salary on YouTube. I know. Hey, that's a good point. I used to love walking around Tandy's. So yeah, Tandy's is like the Maplins as well, isn't it? Selling fire sticks to the fire stick man, him bringing in $5,000 in cash. We could only sell one at a time. It was their first time. Yeah, you can't really tell in their first time. You need to give them a few goes at it. I've had fish that have got it straight out of the box and they're no problems and they're away and they're doing it. I've had fish that you need 20 attempts before they get the hang of things. It's never can tell. Never can tell. Jeff. Where's Jeff? I miss Jeff. Oh, he's up there. Hello, Jeff. How we doing? And I was, yeah. It's how people in the UK watch TV these days. Right. We are at past. We've absolved 2 people tonight. We've done pretty well, chat. We've been lenient. If you guys have got any more confessions, if this is your first time here and you want to share something you've done in the past, we have had cheating wives and husbands. We have had what else have we had? We've had people who have used the actual death of colleagues to cover up buying new aquariums for themselves. We've had all sorts. So your confession will be heard in a fair and reasoned way, but we will share it and we will judge on it and we'll let you know how we do. There's a link in the description if you want to share your aquarium confession with us. It will be well received and appreciated. But now, the time we've all been waiting for. Drum roll, please. Okay, or that. That's fine too. Scan the scanny thing. It is time for Answer Smash. I'll just copy the link and put it in chat. Lying to Nan as well, yes. We had some of them. Pardon me. I will try my best on Answer Smash. I still don't get it. So, Answer Smash, the quiz that is sweeping the nation. You will be presented with 2 questions. One will be in the form of a picture. Oh, there's a ladybird. Hang on. Come on, buddy. Sorry, small digression. You will be presented with 2 questions. One of the questions will be in the form of an image. One of them will be a text question. Oh, he's flown away. I don't know why. It's like a ladybird. It's the most common thing in the world. The answers to both those things will be smashed together, and the end of one of the answers will form the beginning of the other answer. It might be 1 letter, it might be 2 letters, it might be an entire word, but there will be some smashing of answers. For instance, the question might be the second Star Wars film to be released and a picture of the movie Back to the Future. The answer smash would be The Empire Strikes Back to the Future. Got it? It might be a picture of a armadillo, and the text question could be to borrow money. Armadillo. Armadillo. So the L-O in armadillo and the L-O from loan would be the smashed part. I will not penalise spelling. There may be spaces. This is a whole new thing. Sometimes the picture will be the first word. Sometimes the text will be the first word to be smashed. It's crazy, I know. I'm trying to make it difficult. I don't know why. See if spellings I'm going to forgive. The absolute peak performance here is if you get an answer that is technically correct, i.e. not the answer I have on the card, but it meets all the requirements of an answer smash, i.e. it's two answers that are technically correct to what I said, but not the ones I have on the card. You get extra points. If you're willfully poorly answering, I will deduct points. Is that fair? Does that make sense? I also wondered where I was going with armadillo. I don't know why armadillo popped into my head. So, jugglers in. So, what's the rules on Answer Smash? Hopefully that covers the rules for Answer Smash. Or, as Mandy so eloquently puts, the end of one of the answers must overlap with the start of the other. At least one letter, usually more like 2 and 3, maybe more. You cannot add or remove letters, only overlap. Yes. If you position two answers next to each other, that's an answer adjacent, and you will lose points. I will take away points. Answer smash, not answer adjacent. Got it? Got it. And the technically corrects are the way that we're going for it. The way you can win is with a few technically corrects. Right. Are we all ready? We have 16 participants for Answer Smash. This is my specialty. Can we finish on minus points? Well, I've already forgot. Remind me how to say your name so I can shout at you correctly. I want to say Darijan. Darijan Dijan. They lost points big time last week. They angered me and lost 5,000 points. So they finished on like minus 4,800 and something. But I'm sure this week it'll always be fine. Right. Those of you who have scanned the scanning thing, we're good to go. Those of you who are in are already in. Let's play. See how we get on. Your first question, Darian. Going with Darian. Another name for a bird of prey and that thing. Another name for a bird of prey and that thing. Well done, one person. What? One of these days, I'm just going to take my ball and go home. If you're not going to play the quiz properly. Spaces or no spaces, I'm allowing spaces. In this particular one, no spaces. There's no requirement for spaces. Spaces are for when there are multiple words. Like, The Empire Strikes Back. Spaces in between all them, fine. This one, for instance, Mousetrap and raptor. Mousetraptor, no spaces. Let's see what we've put. Traptor. I mean, it's not a trap, it's a mousetrap. Trap is a generic trap. A big hole with spikes in it. That's a trap. That's a mousetrap. It's very much a mousetrap. I mean, it's technically correct in a way that I'm not going to give you points for. So I'm going to give you Traptor, but that's disappointingly technically correct. Mousetraptor, that's what I was after. Mousetraptor with spaces in it. I'm going to give you that. That's fine. Mousetrap, that's just mousetrap. See, there are two words that are smashed together. If you just put up one of the words, from question 2 on, that will lose points. Trap-parrot, a parrot, a bird of prey, a parrot. Is a parrot a bird of prey? Bear with me, caller. No, parrots are not bird of prey. I was right to be infuriated by that one. Parrots are not birds of prey. Open parenthesis, raptors, close parenthesis. They are primarily herbivores or omnivores, feeding on seeds, fruits, nuts, and nectar. Unlike raptors, they lack specialized talents for hunting and are actually prey species in the wild, often targeted by hawks and eagles. Parrot, trap-parrot, no. Mouse trap-parrot, so two of you think a parrot, no. Traperegrine falcon. I mean, that is a bird of prey and technically correct and clever enough to get some extra points. Traperegrine falcon, you're getting some points. Mouse trap-parrot. Moose traptor. Moose traptor. So like a pot of chocolate mousse. Trapstick, stumped. No. It was a mouse trap and a raptor. Another name for a bird of prey is a raptor. Mouse traptor. End of story. Right, who came up with the Traperegrine falcon? I like that. You're getting some points. Activity. Traperegrine falcon is juggler. How many points was it given away last time? Was it 75? Juggler with 120 points, Lauren with 79, the G's 71, Stevie P, Zenny McGinger, and some other people all got that one right. Moose seems like a typo. I suppose. Yeah, alright then. You can have that. And just make sure it gave you it. Activity, Moose Traptor. I mean, I will give you misspellings, but come on. Try hard. That was... I've already forgotten how to say that name. Darian? Go with Darian. Did you get the points, Darian? You did. Good. Right. Question number 2. Starting an athletic race before the gun. And that. Now, the show rather than that specific thing is my hint. Richard Osman doesn't have to deal with this kind of nonsense. Starting an athletic race before the gun and the show. What do we think? Is it time for me to plug some Grey merchandise? Grey merchandise. There's a smash for you. Thank you to Harry for that one from last week. Right, let's see what we've got. False Star Trek is what we're going. The starting an athletic race before the gun is a false start, and Star Trek gives you false Star Trek. Oh, so you definitely get that one because that is the right answer without a space. I thought I'd already given that in. Jump Star Trek. Jump start? That's not a thing, is it? Jumping the gun, yes, but that's just jumping the gun. It doesn't fit into Star Trek. Jump start. A jump start's what you do to a car with low battery. Space race, Miss Star Trek. Close but no. Death Star running early. No. False Trek. No. False Star Wars. Star Wars. You've angered a load of Trekkies. No, I think they're good attempts, but no. We're giving it to those that got false Star Trek or a variation of that one. Well done, these people. How are the teams doing this week? The teams are Big Fish and Little Fish. The Little Fish are overwhelmingly winning 71 points to an average of 37 from the Big Fish. Jugglers in first place. They're all Lauren in second, the G's in third, Stevie P in fourth. More fish than sense. Some of you yet to get off the mark, but don't worry about that. We can do that. Here, you can do it at question number 3. Actor who played Sonny Crockett in the Miami Vice TV series and that place. That was me trying to do the Miami Vice TV theme series. It didn't work. This might only work for older people who knew there was a TV series called Miami Vice. Which has spawned answers such as, what the fuck, London? That helps. That guy. Right, what have we got? Live answers. 5 of you got London Johnson. London and Johnson. London and Don Johnson smashed together to make London Johnson. Who? Who? What the fuck, London? I want a clue. I don't know. London Vice. Cockney, I don't have a clue. Bugger. James Crockett Thames. No. De London. And this is an easy round. People either knew or didn't know. The correct answer was London Johnson. Well done, 5 people. Juggler, the G's, Zenny, Discus Garage, Error 404. Ooh, so Error 404 must be of an age. We should add that to the list so we can track down Error 404. And Elaine, well done all you lot. Question number 4. A French heroine and martyr who was burned at the stake. And that. A very French themed answer, this one. I can tell I'm going to have to give away some spellings. Some imaginative spellings tonight. Oh, no. What are you doing? I knew this would be a spelling issue. And I'm not even sure I'm right, but we'll hopefully give you them all. Right. A French heroine and martyr who was burned at the stake, Joan of Arc. And that is the Arc de Triomphe, which 9 of you spelled in a varying way. Eva Weiss, Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse? No. Joan of Arc. De Triomphe. Arc de Triomphe. But anyway, no, that's not an answer. That's just that's an answer. That's one answer. It's not even an answer adjacent. That's just an answer. Noah's Ark. Lorne of Archway. Art de Triomphe fucking Sakai tonight. My brain has left the chat. It was Joan of Arc de Triomphe. Well done, 9 people. If we check in on the team's ranking, the little fish have an average of 119 points and the big fish have an average of 80. The big fish tonight are the G's, Darian, Teresa Carroll, Bandit Aquatic and Bandit Aquatic. And little fish are everyone else. So Juggler's doing the heavy lifting for the little fish. The G's are doing the heavy lifting for the big fish. There's the chat that's going. Oh, I've missed the chat. Sorry. Tommy's in. How are we doing, Tommy? Moose seemed like a type. Oh, we've done that one. My blood pressure's fine tonight. I'm okay. I needed the hint. I only got 9 points. I won't penalise anyone for spaces. So if you're not sure and you get it roughly right, I'll get it. Thank you, Adam. You jumpstart a car, not a race. I agree. Right, sorry. Right, okay. Question number next. 5. An insect which lives on cellulose, wood, grass and vegetative diet known to cause structural damage to homes and possessions. And that dude. That was a fast answer for someone. Someone's losing points. I understand. You have to type quickly to get the maximum amount of points. So that's why I'm forgiving poor spelling and typing issues. Right. Let's see your answers. So we had various spellings of it, but what we were going for was Harry Potter and termite. Harry Pottermite. Harry Pottermite. Harry Potter is just Harry Potter. I was not. The only way I'm not taking points off this person is if by the time I finish explaining my thinking here, they have made a case in chat to say, oh no, I was about to type in termites, but my cat stood on the enter key. Harry Potter's just Harry Potter. You're going against the ethos of the game is to smash some answers together. Not, here's some answers. Nah, forget about that one. There's just one of them. Answer alone. No. Answer smash. Answer adjacent. That really upsets me. Just answer without an attempt to smash or even put it near the other answer. That's just blatant disregard for the rules. That's disrespect. And I won't stand for it. Harry Potter is losing points. I'm giving up the will to live is at least, I'm trying, but I just don't get it. I don't know. Wood beetle Harry Potter. It's an answer adjacent at best. Termite, not no. I quite like that one. Maybe someone typed it and they ran out of time. I don't think that's how it works. I think you have to submit it. Warm. Termite, no, I quite liked. That was the Mysterious Error 404. You're not getting any extra points for it, but just Harry Potter. Teresa, that was just Harry Potter. I feel like it was in good faith, as it was Teresa, and she's trying, and she just doesn't get the game. So I feel it would be harsh to take away 5,000 points. So you have been warned, though. Let's not see that again. Harry Potter, mate. Well done, those people. Juggler in first place, 18 points ahead of the G's, who is unable to count those numbers. 18 points ahead of Zenny McGinger. That's an American insect. I wouldn't have. But do we not have termites in this country? No, I did not know that. Termites are not native. They're considered a common household pet. Termites are not native to the UK and are considered a common household pet. Which one is it? There have been some termites found in Devon, but they have been eradicated since 2021. Oh, there you go. Okay, I'm pandering to my American audience then. Sorry, everyone. Right, question number next. Online encyclopedia founded in 2001 by Jimmy Wales and Larry Sanger. And that monstrosity. Oh, we've got a technically correct or two. Remember, we're wanting an answer for the online encyclopedia, and we're wanting an answer for the picture. Say what you see, folks. This one works both ways round. Didn't even think about it. The online encyclopedia was, of course, Wikipedia. And that is a Kiwi. That's two Kiwis, so it's Kiwis. Wikipedia. So the WikiWee is the one I was thinking about giving, but no, that's wrong because Wikipedia is a wiki, but it's a specific type of wiki. So I'm just, rather than going to take points off you, I'm just going to not give you points for that one. Wikipedia is just spelling. You can have that one. Wikipedia spelling, you can have that one. Wikipedia avian. I mean, you've even highlighted the A as the thing that's the smashed letter, so kudos for that, but no. It's clearly a Kiwi. I even put a Kiwi in there. Wiki chick, no. Kiwi chick, no. Echidna mind went blank. I'm going to give you 10 points for that one. Because you at least smashed it together. Who was that? Lee. There you go. You have some questions. You have some points. Correct answer was Wikipedia. 20 points separating the top two. It's a picture of a chick. Yeah, but come on. Not good enough. And so are you Kiwi chick or Wiki chick? Let's look at this. Let's look at this. So Kiwi chick. Oh, Teresa, you've done it again. You've just done answer adjacent. And Wiki chick, Brian. So your assertion is that that was a picture of a chick. And the answer was Wiki. So the answer wasn't Wiki. That is a chick, but that's not the answer to that either. And it's not an answer smash. That's just Wiki and chick. Nothing has been smashed. Teresa has just put Kiwi and chick. That's two answers for the same picture. That's two answers for one of the answers, neither of which are smashed, and they're adjacent. So in the nicest possible way, Brian's on -20. Teresa for... I mean, I gave you a warning. You're getting -30. Sorry, I'm a bit being harsh. So you can't answer smash the same answer twice and then not even smash it. In fact, I'm tempted to give you -700,000. Well, I'll stick with -30. Right. Question number 7. Big Macs and Whoppers are examples of which foodstuff whose name derived from a German city? And that. Who's that? But that's just matching the picture with... Exactly, yes. You're forgetting the golden rule that Graham was always right. I don't get this stupid game. I mean, there's not much to it, Brian. You have to give two separate answers and smash them together so there's an overlap. It's the simplest form. That's it. An argument to me made for Wikiwi. I mean, yeah, but I didn't take away points for that one. That was a good one, but it wasn't technically correct because a wiki and Wikipedia are different things using same technologies. Right. What have we got here? I've not even looked at these ones. David Beck Hamburger. Hamburger. 2 people have just written hamburger. After all that. Hamburger. I don't care about the 2 answer rule. I'm not going to... David Hamburger. I think that we'll give you that for spelling. I'm going to come back to hamburgers. Somebody might lose points for that one. David Hamburger. David Hairburger. That's just wrong. Burger Graham. Beckhamburger. Beckhamburger. McDonald's. David Beck Hamburg. Well, that's close. David Beck Hamburger. That's, yeah, it's good enough. Burger King Beck. It's the fact that 2 people just put hamburger. If I find out who you are. Elaine. Stevie P just put hamburger. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to play this as for myself just to see if it does that. So, you thought hamburger, that's that answer, and I don't know who this guy is. I'll figure it out, and then time ran out. Is that what happened? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. If that's the thing that can happen. David Hamburger. David Hamburger. Oh. David Hamburger, I like. It's wrong, but I like it. But Beckhamburger. Right, no, well, we're just going to swiftly move on. Well done, everybody. You did terribly. The correct answer was the correct answer. Zany has moved into the lead. Question number 8. Landlocked country bordering Kenya, home of the Wenzori Peaks. Easy for me to say. And this dude, thou shall not pass. Harry's popped in to say hi, but is off to bed. Nice to see you. Thank you, Spiritual Reefer, for dropping by. Got some interesting spellings again, but good answers. Oh, God. Right, let's have the answers. Ugandalf. Uganda and Gandalf, making Ugandalf. Scotialander? No. Gandalf, fucked it. No. Gandalf, you shall not pat. Gandalf, Uganda. So you've got both the answers, kind of. But rather than try and smash them in any way, you've just written Zol, Tanzania. That's an interesting guess. But Gandalf, Uganda. Gandalf. You've got the answers. I don't know how you can come up with Gandalf and Uganda and go, I can't see any way to smash them together. That's got to be a weaponized, malicious, I'm going to get Graham to pop a blood vessel. And for that, whoever it is losing, I don't know, 1,000,000 points? Let's have a look. Tanzania. Zol, Tanzania. What? Zol, Tanzania? You think that's Zol? Tanzania? Zoltan. Oh, Zoltan. Right, okay. Zoltan. No. No. Just no. Okay. Who put Gandalf? You got Darian. Ah, the scorecard points cannot be less than 10,000. So, Ugandalf was the correct answer. Well done, Zany McGinger. Well done, Juggler. Lauren, Discus Garage, Stevie P, Error 404. Question 9. Zombie apocalypse comedy, first of the Cornetto trilogy. That's a film. And that. Zombie apocalypse comedy film, directed by Edgar Wright, starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I mean, there's some technically wrongs that are good, but technically wrong. Zombie apocalypse comedy, first of the Cornetto trilogy, was Shaun of the Dead. And that is Deadpool, so it was Shaun of the Deadpool. Walking Deadpool, good, but no. Spider-Man Cornetto, they're just words. Shaun of the Deadeye, that's not Deadeye. That's Deadpool. Night of the Living Deadpool. I mean, these are technically answer smashes, so well done on the answer smash front. I mean, I should give you all like 10 points just for playing the game correctly. Walking Deadpool, again, wrong, but at least an answer smash. Zombie Landon. What? Shaun of the Deadpool? Yeah, you can have that. That's close to an answer. Walking Deadpool, Zombieland. Oh, I don't know. What's Zombieland 1? I don't know whether to be enraged by that or not. I went blank. Deadpool. Spider-Man. What's the Cornetto? The Cornetto trilogy is 3 films by Edgar Wright, starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, where they have cornettos. So, Shaun of the Dead, the World's End, and the one where they're all the murders, where there's policemen. immediately drawn a blank. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End. So in each of the films, someone has a cornetto, basically. I'm laughing so hard and pulling my hood over my face in embarrassment. This game is not for people with babies distracting them. It's fine. Right, final question. Oh no, I was going to. I've forgotten to deduct points from people who enraged me there. We'll move on. Question number 10. There's 8 points separating first and second. Let's see how we do. Xbox game series where Master Chief Spartan Soldier battles Alien Covenant on Massive Ringed World. And that thing. Nobody went Ryan Reynolds, Shaun of the Dead. Oh, that would have been a technical correct. That would have got 1,000 points. I don't know how to spell it, but I give it my best shot. If you're the person who's written Tash my Halo, if that was your best shot, that wasn't a very good shot. So I was going for Taj Mahal. So it's Halo is the game, and that's the Taj Mahal. So Taj Mahalo. Tag Mahalo. That's close enough. Tash Mahalo. I don't know about that. Tash Mahalo. Halo Temple Summit. Close. Stay Mahal. No, don't get that. No, no, we're sticking with that. Correct answer was Taj Mahalo. And your winners tonight. Lauren's made it into third place with 461 points. In second place tonight with 536 points, it's Juggler, but your winner tonight. $550 points is Zenny McGinger. Well done. The one person who understands the rules won. Who would have thunk it? There's a lesson in there, people. In last place with minus 9,999. I feel like I'm picking on you now. Brian on minus 20, Teresa on minus 30, and Darian on minus 9,999. That's a record that will never be beaten because you literally cannot get lower than that. But well done, everybody. Except for Brian, Teresa, and Darian. Lee says that was quick. Really? I feel like I'm 4 years older for just one night. Would I'll take it. You deserved it. Well done. After 2 podiums in the last 2 weeks, it's safe to say I died tonight. I mean, you can't win them all. That's all we can say. How do you all type so quickly though? I know some people are like proper on it. Bully. I know. Sorry. Oh, no, let's not make it a tradition. I don't want to be picking on you. I want to see you win next week, and then we can celebrate rather than pop a blood vessel. At least after this, there's KG Tropicals Live. All right, well, I'll leave you all to go and say hello to John and Lisa, I think it is. And enjoy your KG Tropicals, because it's gone past my allotted time schedule. I'm at 19 minutes past 11. We're over a little bit. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I've had fun, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes with the answer smashing. But if you would all go and watch my videos, that would be lovely. If you've got 10 minutes to kill before the next live stream, go and watch one of my videos. If not, we'll hear you back. We'll see you back here, same time, same place next week, unless you're in America and it's same time, different place. I make sense to myself sometimes. Have a good weekend. That's all I want to say. I have a busy weekend of various things to do. Remember, it's Mother's Day here. If you have a mother in the UK, don't forget to send a card. Other than that, I might do a little expedition and do another fish shop tour this week. You never know. But yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. I've enjoyed having you here with me. I hope you've had some fun, even though I've abused some of you and bullied some of you. I didn't mean to. But see you next time. Bye.